The average family spends over $3,000 a year on meat and protein foods every single year. And most of that money goes to buying the same thing over and over, something you could grow once in your backyard and harvest from for years. That's not hypothetical. That's what these 13 crops actually do. Most gardeners think protein means chickens, or soybeans, or maybe a sad little lentil patch. But there's an entire category of plants, perennial protein crops, that produce more usable protein per square foot than almost any animal product, and they do it without being replanted every season. I've grown or researched every plant on this list. Some of them survived 3 full growing seasons with 0 replanting, 0 fertilizer, and barely any attention. Stick around to the end, because the bonus tip on number 13 is genuinely one of the strangest and most useful things I've ever learned about growing your own food. You won't see it coming. Let's go. If you're new here, this channel is for people who want to grow real food, not just pretty gardens. Hit subscribe if that sounds like you. New videos every week. Number 1. Winged bean. Every single part of this plant is edible. Pods, seeds, leaves, flowers, and roots. All of it. Food scientists in the 1970s called it a one-species supermarket, the U.S. National Academy of Sciences published a full report naming it one of the most promising underutilized crops on Earth, and then somehow the entire world forgot about it. The seeds rival soybean for protein. The tubers give you starchy calories underground, while you're harvesting beans up top. Grow it on a trellis, full sun, warm climate. That's it. Number 2. Katuk. This perennial shrub grows up to 8 feet tall and produces edible leaves every single week of the year in a warm climate. Dried, those leaves test at up to 49% protein by weight. To put that in perspective, beef is about 26%. The leaves taste like fresh peas, straight off the bush. Plant it once as a hedge, prune it regularly, and you have a protein harvest built directly into your garden wall. USDA zones 9 through 12. Handles partial shade perfect under fruit trees. Number 3. Bambara Groundnut. This one grows underground like a peanut, but it's actually a bean. And here's what makes it unusual. Nutritionists classify it as a complete food. Protein, carbohydrates, and healthy fats in a single seed. You don't need to pair it with anything else. It fixes its own nitrogen, grows in sandy, poor soil, and harvests in about 4 months. Boil it, roast it, grind it into flour, or press it into tempeh-style cakes. It is the 3rd most consumed legume across sub-Saharan Africa, and almost no one outside that region has ever heard of it. If you're finding this useful, drop a comment below with which plant surprised you most. And if you haven't subscribed yet, there are 10 more crops on this list. Stay with me. Number 4. Horsegram. Archaeological records put this legume in Indian farming systems going back to 2500 BC. That's 4,500 years of field testing. It grows on drought, salinity, and soil that would kill most other legumes. Seeds test between 18 and 29% protein. Medical research has confirmed anti-diabetic, antioxidant, and kidney stone dissolving properties in the seeds. Originally, this was horse feed. Farmers noticed their animals were stronger on it. Then famine hit. People started eating it. And they found out why. Number 5. Sword bean. The pods on this vine can reach 60 centimeters long. That is almost 2 feet of bean pod from a single plant. It climbs 10 meters in one season, fixes nitrogen into the soil the entire time, and produces ornamental pink and white flowers that pollinators can't ignore. Young pods are eaten like green beans. Mature seeds are dried and cooked. Grow it on a fence, a pergola, an archway. Give it something tall and get out of its way. In Japan, the tender young pods are traditionally pickled into a condiment called fukujinzuke and served with every bowl of curry rice. That tradition has been running for centuries. Meanwhile, the rest of the world doesn't even know this plant exists. Number 6. Lab bean. Also called hyacinth bean. Purple pods, violet flowers, looks like something you'd grow purely for ornament. Thomas Jefferson actually did grow it purely for ornament at Monticello. He had no idea he was ignoring one of the most nutritious beans in the world. Omega-3 fatty acids, complete protein, drought tolerance that beats cowpea and common bean combined, perennial in warm zones. edible pods, seeds, leaves, and flowers. One planting that keeps producing. We're halfway through, and I haven't forgotten about that bonus tip. Keep going. It's worth it. Number 7. Tepary bean. The most drought-tolerant food crop in the world. That's not marketing. That's the scientific consensus. Native to the deserts of the American Southwest, water it once to germinate, then step back. It literally performs better when you underwater it. Seeds pack high protein plus soluble fiber that's been clinically shown to lower blood sugar and cholesterol. This bean kept entire indigenous communities alive through desert conditions for thousands of years. It is now being planted in drought-stricken regions of Africa because nothing else is producing there. Number 8. Marama bean. Kalahari Desert. Seeds with 30 to 39% protein comparable to commercial soybean, and underground, the plant develops a tuber that can weigh over 10 kilograms after a few years. That tuber stores water internally during drought. It is a protein source and a water reserve buried in your garden. Roasted seeds taste like cashews. Ground seeds make a creamy plant milk richer in iron than soy milk. The plant has never been commercially domesticated. Every marama bean still being grown is essentially wild. That alone should tell you something about how neglected this crop has been. Number 9. Velvet bean. Most people know mucuna as a cover crop. What most people don't know is that it's a legitimate protein food eaten across parts of West Africa, India, and Central America. Properly processed seeds carry 20 to 35% protein. It's also one of the only plants in existence that contains L-DOPA, the same compound pharmaceutical companies synthesize to treat Parkinson's disease. Clinical trials have compared mucuna extracts directly against synthetic levodopa. The results were close enough to be scientifically significant. You need to properly process the seeds, soak, boil, repeat before eating. That's the one step. Don't skip it. Number 10. Tarwi, Andean lupin. The Inca Empire ran on this. Dried tarwi seeds were the protein ration that Inca armies carried across the Andes at altitude. Protein content, 40 to 50%. That is the highest confirmed protein percentage of any legume on the planet. After Spanish colonization, it nearly vanished. It's still grown in highland South America, but almost nowhere else. Seeds need 3 to 5 days soaking in running water to remove bitter alkaloids before eating. After that, flour, oil, plant milk, straight out of the pot. Frost tolerant. Stunning blue and white flower spikes before pod set. Number 11. Moringa. You've probably heard of moringa by now. Here's the part most people don't know. The leaves contain all essential amino acids, making it one of fewer than a dozen plants that produce complete protein. Dried leaf powder tests at 27% protein. Cut it hard, and it comes back in weeks. It behaves less like a tree and more like a fast-growing perennial herb. One tree in a backyard produces continuous leaf harvests, edible pods, and the part almost nobody mentions: the seeds can purify turbid water through natural coagulation. That has been documented in field water treatment programs across Africa and Southeast Asia. Food and water. From one tree. Number 12. Pigeon pea. Every other crop on this list is technically a planting event. Pigeon pea is an installation. Plant it once, and it produces for 3 to 5 years from the same root system. It builds into a woody shrub, fixes nitrogen 2 meters deep into subsoil, produces yellow flowers, pollinators love, and the cut branches break down into some of the best mulch you can put around other plants. First harvest in about 100 days. Then it keeps going, season after season. No replanting. That's the whole point of this video. Number 13. And here's the one I promised you. Siberian pea shrub. I know, it doesn't sound exciting. Stay with me. Caragana arborescens. Hardy down to minus 40 degrees Celsius. Grows in dry, sandy, gravelly soil with almost no input. Produces small, yellow-podded peas. Those peas test at 36% protein higher than common beans. Here is the part that should genuinely surprise you. This is one of the only perennial protein crops that thrives in cold northern climates. Every other plant on this list needs warmth. This one is built for USDA zones 2 through 8. If you're in Canada, Northern Europe, the Northern United States, or any highland region, this is your perennial protein crop. It doubles as a windbreak. a wildlife hedge, a nitrogen producer that feeds every plant around it. And during severe food shortages in the Soviet Union in the 1940s, Karagana was deliberately planted across stretches of Siberian agricultural land as an emergency food buffer. A shrub field-tested in a Siberian winter. That's your gold standard for reliability. Harvest the pods before they split, dry the seeds, and you have a protein crop that asked you for almost nothing. 13 crops, 1 planting, 3 growing seasons of proof. The whole game shifts when you stop thinking about protein as something you buy and start treating it like something your garden produces automatically season after season without you lifting a shovel. Tell me in the comments which one of these are you planting first. I'm genuinely curious because the answer is usually different depending on where you live, and it's useful for everyone reading down there. If you got value from this video, subscribe and hit the bell. I put out practical growing content every week, no filler. Thumbs up if this changed how you think about your garden. And I'll see you in the next one.